It was a fact-finding adventure. Now I'm ready to open up the meeting. This is the meeting. We haven't gotten to the hearing yet. The first item on the agenda for the meeting is to approve the minutes of the 9/3/25 meeting. I have a motion to approve those minutes, please.
The motion.
Annie Fuji made a motion.
I second.
Laura seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes of 9/3, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The next item on our agenda is the hearing for the bakery. And I have some notes someplace. Here we go. Okay. I'm Deborah Granquist. I am the, well, first of all, we go. I'm opening the hearing at 5:40, okay? I'm Deborah Granquist. I am the chair of the the Development Review Board. And around this table, we have
Susan Morris, Annie Fuji,
Larry Dalzell.
Jeff Lennox.
Laura Katz.
Will Goodwin.
our zoning administrator. Okay. And we have members of the public in the room here. Does people want to introduce themselves? Okay, so start with Jim Linville.
Jim Linville.
Bob LaRue, neighbor, a butter.
Claudia Harris, owner of Carabel Properties, neighbor and a butter.
Will Freeman, a butter, New Thought, Vermont.
Kate Golden, civil engineer for the bakery. Natalie Boston, I'm with the bakery and hotel.
And Matt Reno, food and beverage director for the hotel.
John Phelan, a butter on Dunn Lane.
Great. Just so that everybody knows, this hearing is being recorded. And I'm going to waive reading of the public notice because you're all here. So obviously you got some sort of public notice to be here. The matter before us is the following. In 2022, the Development Review Board approved a bakery for Westin Hotel Partners. They approved conditional use and site plan.
And residents.
I'm sorry?
And residents.
Okay. The decision, the 2022 decision was appealed by an adjoining neighbor to the environmental court. And ultimately, the parties, the neighbor and the bakery, do you mind if I refer to you as the bakery instead of the hotel partners? Okay. Ultimately, the neighbor and the bakery reached an agreement on the issues. The DRB is not a party to that agreement that was reached between the neighbor and the baker. Subsequently to that, and according to the materials that I received today from Caitlin Golden, the new site plan was prepared as a result of that that agreement between the neighbor and the bakery. And that new site plan was dated in the spring of 2023. It was not filed with the town. So the town had never seen that. The bakery is now nearing completion and the Westin Hotel Partners have submitted an amended site plan for approval. Today's review of the amended site plan will be limited to a discussion of the items on the amended site plan. We will only discuss those issues. If there are questions about other issues that have not changed, those should be addressed among the parties outside of the hearing. The notice was warned in the Vermont Journal as required. The zoning administrator confirmed that the required notice was sent to the abutters and that return receipts were received. To date, we have received 2 items from the applicant. One is the amended site plan, I guess, and there's a bunch of a bunch of versions of it, okay? And we also received a 2-page, 3-page memo. I think that all of the Development Review Board members received that, and I believe I got this out to the abutters. And Mr. Linville, I apologize, you did not get a copy, but
I haven't shown you.
We saw copies.
okay,
here.
and there are copies up here too. Okay, the hearing will be conducted in accordance with the Development Review Board's rules of procedure. Copies of the rules are available at the town clerk office or on the town website. This is some housekeeping. Does anyone have a conflict of interest to report? Okay, hearing none. Does anybody have any ex parte communications to report? I do report that I have had a communication with the applicant and the applicant's engineer, but only as to process what information was needed for this hearing. According to state law, only persons who have participated in the hearing have a right to appeal the decision. So only those people who are here tonight, whether they're on Zoom or in here, are the ones who have a right to appeal this, whatever decision the DRB reaches. Please be sure, if you haven't, to give your contact information to Susan Morris, who's collecting that for us. All persons, under the Development Review Board rules, all persons, including applicants, who might be given testimony or speaking tonight are required to take the following oath. What I'm going to do is read the oath, and I want everybody who, DRB members don't have to do this, just members of the public and or members of the people representing the bakery have to do this. I'm going to read the oath, and people on the Zoom, if you want to be able to speak tonight, you're going to have to sign, you're going to have to swear to this oath. The oath is, I hereby swear that the evidence I give in this case shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under penalties of perjury. All right, I'd like a show of hands from anybody who's going to speak this evening that wants to have to be heard. Okay, I see everybody in here except for Mr. LaRue, Matt, and Mr.
I have my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I apologize. Everybody in this room except for Matt and
Yes.
Mr. Phelan. And what about on, okay, I see Mr. Tarrant and anybody else? I don't, well, I guess I can't see the other people. What other people, the two sharp people, are you planning to speak?
Nope, just here to listen.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, the general flow of the hearing will be, there's a lot of information that is going to come out tonight, so I would like to be rather formal about this. I'd like for the applicants, the bakery and whoever is speaking on behalf of the bakery to be able to explain why they're here and what it is that's happening. And then I will turn it over to the Development Review Board to ask questions, and then turn it over to the public to do this. I think this is easier than disrupting the flow every few seconds with a question. So if somebody actually has some absolutely burning question that
Someone
they.
just joined. I don't know if you want them to swear.
Okay. Does Peter Miller want to swear? Does he want to speak?
Yes, Peter Miller.
Would you want to speak? Because if you want to speak, you have to have a little oath. How about I'll read you the oath and you can raise your
Oh.
hand.
Okay, that's fine. Yes.
I hereby swear that the evidence I give in this case shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under penalties of perjury. Just raise your hand if you, great, thank you, Peter.
Thanks.
Peter Miller, for whoever doesn't know who's who just joined us. So I'm gonna if somebody has like an absolutely burning question that they just can't wait till the end of the presentation, raise your hand and we'll try to accommodate you.
You got one?
Yes,
I would like to know what is the most recent site plan, the number and the date. In the correspondence that you gave me, there were several that were dated. So is it C1?
sure.
So I will get there when
Okay.
it's my turn. Am I starting?
No, why don't,
Okay,
I thought there was
I think she's gonna walk us through them.
yeah.
All
okay.
right.
And with the trucks.
When it appears that all questions have been addressed, the DRB decides whether we have sufficient information to be able to close the hearing. And if we close the hearing, the DRB has 45 days in which to render a decision. I am going to ask if anybody in the room and or on Zoom has any questions about process before we get started. Okay, now I'm turning it over to you, Caitlin.
I see
So,
them.
Caitlin, sorry, if I may, just briefly, before you begin, Caitlin.
Yep, go ahead.
So yeah, Mike Tarrant again, attorney for the bakery. I just want to clarify a little bit here because I know there was some confusion about what exactly is going on right now.
I think that's 6/13/15.
And just to be clear, the bakery hasn't actually applied for anything beyond the current permit that it's holding. There's no application pending before the DRB. The issues that I think are being raised are, questions and concerns with how the actual permitted project has developed and proceeded, which I think Caitlin's going to talk about. But just to be clear, there's no actual application in front of the DRB right now. So the information being provided is being provided to set forth and explain, as is in the narrative that I believe Caitlin provided, pursuant to paragraph 6 of the DRB decision and then the permit that stemmed from that, which is clarifications on the project as it's completed, as to where it stands and how it varies from the original application, sort of as it developed and unfolded on the ground. It, took on a slightly different reality once shovels hit the dirt. So I just wanted to clarify that because there seemed to be some confusion that there was actually an application pending, but nothing was filed. So I just want to set that straight. And with that, I'll hand it over to Caitlin.
So, Mr. Tarrant, are you then not looking for a decision from the Development Review Board?
Well, it's an interesting question here because nothing was applied for. There is a permit that was issued back subject to the change following the appeal with the amended site plan. But there has been no change sought, right? And there's no ongoing jurisdiction of the DRB. I'm not entirely sure what to make of what's happening, frankly, but I just wanted to be clear that there is no application. The bakery never applied for anything. So
therefore you want to go under your old site plan?
No, what's happening is the information that was presented here is the clarifications as is set forth in the narrative prepared by the engineer to explain, as paragraph 6 of the permit asked, the as-built plans. And that's what we're here today to present, because nothing was applied for.
You are asking, so you're not seeking an amended site plan, so you're just going to be going under the site plan that we have on file, which shows all different things than what you're presenting or what was presented at the site visit.
No, what we're presenting to you today are the as-built plans as required by paragraph 6.
Okay, it would be nice if we had known this before now, because we could have contacted our lawyer and gotten advice on this. We thought that you were coming in with an amended site plan, and that we were to go deal with all of the changes that have been made to the site plan, and that then we were going to make a decision based on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure where that confusion comes from. I mean, no application was submitted, so I'm not sure why that happened. I know there was some discussion about the changes on the ground, and I think the confusion comes from paragraph 6 of the permit, which provides for these as-built plans. And that's what we're
These
here
really
to present.
aren't as-built plans, and it says within 2 months of completion of construction of the patio, and that hasn't occurred yet.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what to tell you as to why it got to this point. I wasn't involved in those initial discussions, so I'm not entirely sure what happened or why this was presented the way it was. But there is no application. I think the bakery wants to present and clarify its position on what's happening due to the work that's proceeding. I mean, really, it's a little interim here. It might be a little premature under paragraph 6, but I don't think the bakery has a problem updating the public on the status.
Annie?
I see this as, the original house was a residence. And when you initially proposed this, it was as a resident for the baker and a commercial bakery to supply the inn, and that there would be some retail sales. So I keep going back to the fact that this is a change of use, that you are no longer presenting it as a residence with a commercial bakery, but now there is no residence, which tied into the original building and the location. So I'm struggling because I really feel that what you've presented now is a real change of use in addition to the modifications in the site plan and some of the other things. So I just would really appreciate some clarification on that and that change of use and how that evolved. And we're looking, I think, at a different plan than we approved originally for a residence and a commercial bakery and some retail sales into a bakery with seating and a different potential, I don't know if that's being included, although it has in some of the recent information. So I'm just seeking some clarification here because I'm a little
I could
confused.
maybe just add
Sure.
to that too, that what we approved, as you said, was an existing structure that was going to be added to and modified.
Right.
And what then happened is that structure was demoed without any notification to the town. So you mentioned, small changes from the plan, pretty significant change. That the site plan that we approved had an existing, as I said, existing structure. It was going to be modified, added on to part of it used for apartment for the baker, but that was all demoed. So it's completely different.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
And I know we just, at our site visit, we were told that the structure of we were supposed to use porous, there was supposed to be a porous surface in the parking and the entrance and the driveway, and now it's an impervious surface. So that's a change. And I guess the bigger question is, there's such confusion, I guess, from your end, maybe why you're here. I mean, this isn't the avenue to notify the public about what you're doing. And I think we were very clear at our last informational session with the bakery representatives that we felt that there were substantial changes from 2022, and that's why you were here. So now you're coming to tell us we don't really have jurisdiction and paragraph 6 hasn't been triggered yet. So I think before we go forward, I mean, everyone can agree or not agree, we need to know why we're here, what we're doing, because this is kind of the first we've heard of this. And we did have almost a 2-hour meeting, 6 weeks ago or a month ago, whenever it was, with your representatives. So we're feeling a bit blindsided by this, for lack of a better term.
Sure. No, I appreciate the concerns. I mean, this gets fundamentally to, I suppose, process here. DRBs have specific and limited jurisdiction, as you just noted. They have jurisdiction over specific types of applications, and they have jurisdiction over certain appeals. But neither which, is pending here, which led to somewhat of my confusion as to what's happening. I don't know why the confusion happened and persisted. I wasn't involved. I don't know. But what's clear, right, is that the permit that was issued is being proceeded upon, and that's where we're at. There is no change of use permit applied for. The use that's being done is within the use that was permitted. It's not the full use that was permitted, but it's within the use that was permitted. And the footprint of the building, from what I understand, is the same. I'm not entirely sure what happened with the demolition. I wasn't there. I don't know if one of the people in the room for the bakery has that historical knowledge. I don't. But there is no change of use permit. The use is still the same as it was. It's just partial use as opposed to the full use that was applied for. And there is no application pending. So I guess I'm confused. You're confused. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, why did you folks submit, like a 10-page,
27 pages.
27 pages
Nice.
application or whatever you'd like to call it for us to review today?
My understanding is Natalie, who's in the room, talked to the zoning administrator earlier on this week about what exactly is happening, and she was told that it is the way it is and it's going forward. I honestly don't know.
Well, that's because we had a meeting, as I said, for almost 2 hours, maybe a month ago, which again, we just, offered our time to kind of help with the process.
Yep.
Which we then, this is the outcome, this is the result, the application, or again, whatever you want to call it. So you are just telling me this is not an application, this is just more information for us. But again, as you said, we're an adjudicator body. We need something to decide. And as you've heard from other members, we feel that not the use, but the actual building and the layout and the surfaces of the driveway have all changed significantly from the first permit. So logically, we just, I guess, assumed that this was an application for the changes that were made that were significant enough to warrant a new application. But I guess
So,
we're
actually-
just all,
Actually, Natalie wants to speak.
okay.
So just a few things to clarify. So the last meeting that we were asked to come to,
Mhm,
we didn't really know what we were walking into. We thought it was just kind of like a status update kind of thing.
mhm.
And we felt a little, not attacked, but like kind of cornered and kind of put on the spot, and we weren't really aware that this was this big of an
Well, I
issue.
hope we didn't make you
Well,
feel
actually,
that
we
way.
thought you came to us.
Yeah, we
We
thought
didn't
you
know-
came
we
to
were
us.
asked.
You were asked to come.
Will asked us to come and told us to come, and we're happy to come, and like part of the reason that we put together this whole packet was because we wanna be open with you guys, like we're trying to follow the permit, we're doing everything we thought we were supposed to be doing. And the plan was, once it was to the as-built state, we were gonna
All right.
submit that, and
So here's some thoughts.
if-
Actually,
Can I-
Larry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
Just
Natalie.
one more thing, and also, if there was an issue, like if we got a notice of violation, obviously we would have addressed it. We didn't think we were in violation of anything, we're very public, everyone drives by every day, like my office is right across the street, like, we're not trying to do anything sneaky, like, we're trying to bring something beautiful to the community because we care about Weston, so I just wanna make that clear, like, we're trying to be agreeable and compliant and like. appease
Okay,
everyone.
Jeff is next and then Larry.
I think I'm looking at the final minutes from that meeting, which was September 3rd. So paragraph 2F. Actually, yeah, 2F says, hotel partners need to submit an amended site plan and change of use application with all the changes from the project's originally approved permit. And they cannot open the business until a permit is approved. So that's, I believe, in the official registered minutes from that meeting. We're hearing that was never requested. I know it was in the discussion and it is documented in the minutes. So I don't know where the communication fell apart, maybe to council, as to what we meant by they need to submit an amended site plan and change a use application. So we thought we were coming into today was following the decision that are recorded in the minutes.
Sure.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Wait,
Can I-
excuse
can
me,
I
Mr.
respond to it
Tarrant.
or?
Wait,
Okay.
no, let me ask, we have someone else here,
This is
Larry.
kind of a follow-up to what he just said, so, and maybe I'm confused. But you said that there was no change of use, but as Amy pointed out, as I understand it, there was originally a residential component, and there is no longer a residential component. So to me, that would seem to be a change of use, because you've removed a use that was there and was part of an application, and it's no longer part of the application.
So, Mr. Tarrant?
Sure. Let me just, I'm short-term memory here. Let me just address the first one, the second one first. The permitted use is for both the residential and the bakery, right? So the current use that's going forward is just the bakery. So there's no change. It's just a partial use of that which is permitted. If they decide to open an apartment in the future, they have a permit for that. The fact that they're using less of what's permitted does not change or render it in violation. It's just partial use of what's allowed. On the other one, I haven't seen those minutes and I wasn't there, but I don't think this is really a controversial proposition. And I think you guys have acknowledged this already. DRB doesn't have jurisdiction unless it has jurisdiction. If there's no application pending, there's nothing to decide. If there was no NOV on appeal, there's nothing to decide. There was no order from that hearing, which the bakery attended, that required anything to happen. DRBs don't have ongoing open jurisdiction over permits. So again, I'm not trying to be difficult or frustrating here. I think there is some confusion, and I think the bakery does want to show what's happening. There has been a difference, and as the narrative set forth that was prepared by the engineer, we were here today to present the changes per condition 6 that was set forth straight there in the narrative, I believe, right there in the first 1 or 2 paragraphs.
Yes, that we received at 12:52 today. So
Sure, and
I don't know how many people had an opportunity to read it. So let me interrupt here, because we have to figure out what we're going to do going forward. It's sort of unfortunate, because I actually do think that the Development Review Board came here tonight to hear an amended site plan. I think we probably were going to be able to approve an amended site plan, and everything was going to go proceeding forward. But what I'm hearing is that you do not want us to approve a site plan for you. And this site plan that is here cannot be filed on the land records because it has not been approved. So this site plan does not, this is not your site plan. The site plan that exists is the site plan that was filed in 2022. Unless I'm wrong. I mean, Will, can we file a site plan that hasn't been on the record, that hasn't been approved?
So that's filed with the V-Trans permit and the wastewater permit in your records already. I don't know.
That's fine, but it's not an approved site plan by the Development Review Board. So I'm going to suggest that either one of 2 things happens, and maybe we can get some interest here. One is that we can just actually close this hearing right now. Thank everybody for coming. We can talk to, and you can go with your existing site plan, which is going to have some, whatever, it doesn't comply with what you're doing. And we can talk, well, actually council is telling us that we actually have no authority to do anything. So we'll confirm that with our town council, and you can just go with the existing site plan that's on the file from 2022. And
so
the
I have
decision that's there.
I have a couple thoughts. First of all, the court did order the amended site plan from the 2023 litigation. So that was ordered to be incorporated as part of the permit. The town was part of that process. You guys didn't participate, but you were there. So that's ordered by the court. That's the amended one. Now it's not much different. I believe it only got to some screening issues.
Was that submitted to us for filing?
Honestly, that was 2 years ago. I don't recall.
Well, the Development Review Board was not a party to the environmental court.
Development review
process.
boards aren't. The town is represented in appeals through its select board, but the court did order it, and that is now the official one that came down in 2023. The second thing I'll say is this, although there was no application, it was warned, it was sent out. And like I said, the bakery is here to present it all. I mean, if the client wants to go forward with it, since everyone's here, I don't have a particular problem with it. It was properly warned from what I can tell. Everyone's here today to do it.
But sure, you can come and talk, but there's no decision that we will make, nor will we file that on our land records as the site plan, because it has not been approved. But that's something that I would need to confirm with our council. Now, wait a second, I had a question over here by Mr. LaRue.
I was just gonna say, because I was the other party in that environmental court, this does not resemble those approved site plans. Like he keeps referring to these as, you know, they're similar or I don't know exactly how he's putting it, but they're very different from what I have that we agreed upon and the judge signed off on.
As I said, I'm really very disappointed because I think we were ready to go, ready to approve, and you would walk out of here and whatever. But if this is the path you wish to take.
What was option 2?
Option 2 is that.
Gotta hear what's behind the other curtain.
What did I say?
You said there were 2 options, but you never got to.
What was option 1?
Option 1 is close the hearing, be on your way. Walk under the
Close.
22.
Well, the option 2 is that we can listen, but there's still no decision that we're going to, that's no decision that's going to be made. So I don't really know what the point is in making
Yes,
everybody.
I'd rather not waste my time.
Right, there's no
Is there an
decision, so.
amended plan from 2023 that's
Yeah,
been
so I
filed?
have never
Have
seen
we
the
seen
2023
that?
plan.
So what would the next step
Wait,
be?
we
Do
only
you
get one at
guys
a
You're
have
time.
talking
that?
about the post-environmental
Yeah.
report. I'm sure, I mean, it's been around, I'm sure you got it in an email at some point, but I can send it again.
But does it look like
Yeah,
this at all?
I never got
The
that.
2023 court approved one looks similar to this one.
So
And
the-
so the narrative I sent around today, based on our last meeting, I was under the impression that a narrative would be helpful to describe, this is where we started, this is how we got here. And it includes the discussion of what happened with the 2023 screening and reduction in parking and how it's closer to this one.
But it's still, when you say this one, meaning the one that's before us today, it's still, there's no apartment there, that was still in there or not?
That one, I think, still had the apartment.
So
I'm just
2023,
trying to get you closer to
2023,
where you want to be.
was pre-demo still or post-demo? After the environmental
Probably
court decision,
pre.
it says pre plan.
Pre. So it still
That's
showed an
pre-demo.
apartment,
That
but
still
the,
showed the original structure.
It showed.
but the boundaries are more like this.
For the original width line.
We just need to see it.
By the way, thank you for the narrative. It was most helpful. I totally understood what was going on. And that's why I said it's very disappointing because I think we were coming in here ready to listen, make a decision and accept the amended site plan. But I gather that's not what your attorney wants. So I don't know. What do you think, Development Review Board? Do we want to just call it quits and go
I
home?
don't,
There's no
if
action
there's
to take.
There's
no
no action for us,
action,
so-
if this is not an amended site plan application, then we, as, you know.
We did request an application for change of use and site plan, and I don't think that's what we really received.
I'm turning into a pumpkin. This is me turning into a pumpkin.
It's okay.
Can I go with you?
You
No,
got
I'm-
another 45 minutes.
I'm out of my time, so.
Okay,
So we were not notified by the applicant that they were not gonna do what the minutes reflected.
Right, well, just this afternoon at 12:52.
right.
It was the first indication, or 12 something or other, that was the first indication that they did not want us to approve an amended site plan.
And what was warned?
Amended site plan.
Yeah, so, okay, so just everyone had notice, but
So I'll just chime in again. I'm just setting this up because what the narrative reflects is what I understand procedurally has happened. But the other option two reality that you set out, Madam Chair, is that it was warned this way. Everyone is here this way. The bakery is here this way, does have the information to present this way. So it was warned this way. If the bakery wants to proceed, I'm not the decision maker. You're here, they're here.
You're
Well,
arguing there's no
but-
authority by the board.
But you're saying. we
But you're
can't
arguing
really
there's
do
no authority
anything.
for us to do anything,
Yeah,
so,
and you're their lawyer, so.
What I'm telling you is that it was warned this way. It wasn't applied for, but it was warned. If the bakery wants to proceed, I don't see why it couldn't. But I mean, the simple fact is that the permit was issued and they're developing the project in line with the permit. Now, maybe there's arguments to the contrary, but that's the bakery's position.
But it's warned for something we can't do.
Right, you're saying.
It was
we
warned
can't
for
do
a
it.
revised site plan, which has not been presented, so the warning does not match
There's no
what we're looking
document
at.
that says we haven't had the opportunity for our attorney to advise.
We can still explain all the changes and like, again, we're here, like, we want to be open with you guys, like, we really want.
we understand,
I think we want you here.
we understand that, but we don't understand why you would be going through that to do it, because there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Well, I was told that this is just like, you have to do the hearing and like, I was told to send out the notices and like, I wanted to comply with that, but we weren't ready to submit an application, so we just kind of. We're doing what was asked, but we didn't apply for anything yet, so again, we're trying to be here and open and.
So
like,
what we can
we're willing
do
to
is
present it.
we can adjourn the hearing to our next development review board meeting, which is the first
Is it
Wednesday.
adjourn or recess?
I'm sorry,
Adjourn, because.
recess the
until our
hearing
next,
until the first.
therefore,
And
yeah.
you can decide between now and then whether you would actually like to apply for something, or if you want to go with your existing 2023 site plan. And we can talk to our counsel to find out, I guess your lawyer seems to think that we're not complying with the law, so I don't feel comfortable if we're not complying with the law without talking to our attorney, so.
Can I ask something, just a question? So I guess my confusion with this whole process is I don't think we were in violation of our permit. So I just don't really understand why we need to apply for anything else to that.
You're not in violation yet because you have not opened. But if
Okay.
you opened based on a different site plan than what was approved,
Mhm.
you would be in violation. That's why you come in to get an amended site plan.
Okay.
And we have had, I don't know, we don't have numerous of anything in Weston. We have certainly had other people, the Vermont Country Store has amended their site plan, Walker Farm has
Yeah, yeah, I know,
amended
I'm not
their
trying to
site
be-
plan. So it's a process, it's pretty easy, you have completed all the things you need to
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
except except your lawyer is concerned because you actually didn't apply for this, so I don't want to.
So I'm
It's
just
important one.
curious, then with the permit that we have, why couldn't our as-built site plan, the condition 6, why couldn't that kind of cover all of this?
Because it's a change, when there's a change, if you add and make difference to an existing site plan, that's considered a change and it needs to be approved.
Right, if
You're
you look,
cha-
if you look at 6, it says that the as-built will be plans that corresponds with the plans submitted in the application. The ones you submit in the application don't match what's now.
Yeah, they're just what, you know.
And at the last meeting, there was,
Objective, it's
at the
different.
last meeting, there was a lot of discussion about the loading area and how the loading area didn't comply with the way the original plan, approved plan showed. Nothing has changed since
Well,
then.
we fixed that, we do have a loading zone.
Well, I understand, but we have to approve it. And this, tonight was the possibility of approving it But now that seems to be gone, so,
Well, let me just clarify what you just said. You said you fixed it, but nothing has changed since we met and talked about this last time. There was discussion about carting stuff across Route 100 and
So I'll reply
that
to
whole
that one.
thing.
I think there was a pretty heavy discussion that was trying to separate the issues. I was trying to explain during the last hearing that there is an appropriate loading zone on the site, as those of us that did the site visit today saw. In the last meeting, it was said, if you depict that on a plan, the loading zone with the turning movements turned on, because that's helpful, that would be what you need to see that it works. I have provided that.
right, and we're not getting into the substance right now. We're still
Yeah.
dealing with process. We have no idea
But I'm
what we're
just saying,
supposed
I'm
to be
saying that's
doing.
why it hasn't changed, because it was there all along. But what I have now provided is the text to say, here's, look at me here. This is
Right,
what
but the number of parking spaces has changed dramatically from the 2022 and presumably the 2023, which we haven't seen site plan. Those, it's not an unusual process, although apparently in accordance with Mr. Tarrant, we didn't do this process correctly because you didn't know you were applying for amended site plan. We thought you were applying for an amended site plan because your site plan is different than what was originally approved.
And it's
As
in
I
the
said,
minutes.
and the minute says that, and as I said, this is not unusual. Most of the commercial properties around here have gone through the amended site plan process. It's not difficult. Yeah, I'm sort of. Yeah.
Part of the process.
Yeah, they apply when they're parking.
If you want to, if we
Or
can,
screening
Or
change.
screening
as
changes.
Annie said, we can recess the hearing to our next hearing date, which is the
Which is-
first
Which is,
date in November, Wednesday in November.
Oh, fair enough.
we're the 30th.
Well, that would be tomorrow.
Right, it would be tomorrow.
And we couldn't do it tomorrow, so we'd have to go
Alright,
to
good point.
November. We'd be happy to do that, and you would have a hearing on the site plan then. But if you would like to do what your lawyer's advice is, which is to just go with your existing site plans, that's fine too. But with understanding that they're you would be in violation, you whatever you're doing is not complying with your existing site plans.
So it does sound like I'm hearing some negativity from the board on an application that's not pending, which I don't think is helpful, because if something does come forward, you guys are going to be called on to make findings and conclusions on it. So I think I'm sensing some frustration here, but to be fair, this is not something the bakery set out to do. The bakery was a little confused at the last meeting. We're showing up here in good faith. It's a little frustrating to hear the frustration being taken out on us on an application that you thought was pending, but we didn't apply for. Natalie did try to correspond with Will. There was confusion. She did what Will said, but like I said, I'm not sure why you're upset at the bakery for not filing a permit, which you guys know didn't come in.
Upset.
We're not upset. We're
This is not a
perfectly happy.
personal thing.
We are
It does sound like you're upset.
Well, we're
We're
frustrated
frustrated.
because, and I think everybody's frustrated
Yeah, I think
because
the bakery
there
Okay.
clearly was miscommunication from the beginning.
Mhm.
And we thought that the bakery was coming in with a site plan amendment, whatever.
And we did
I-
verbalize, aside from the minutes at the end of that hearing.
Yes,
I distinctly remember the summary statement saying, and head nods from the applicant saying, yes, we understand that we are doing an amended site plan as a part of this next step.
Well, again, just to be clear, DRBs don't have ongoing jurisdiction, and it's up to the ZA in the first instance to look at that stuff. You guys have, I don't want to get into this too much more, but I'll also note I did, when the environmental court decision came out in July of 23, I did forward it on to your counsel at the time, and he did receive it. So I'm not sure why counsel didn't provide it to the DRB. If that's what needed to happen, he may have. I wouldn't know that, of course, but it was sent to him on July 7th of 2023. So the town did get it. And the permit should have issued after that.
Well, I think that, and Mr. Tarrant, our apologies if we are sounding frustrated. We are frustrated. Well, I am frustrated because, as I said, we were ready to hear and, hopefully make an approval of this, because I'm anxious to get my coffee and my croissant.
I mean, we've been.
So I'm suggesting that, since you guys didn't really know why you wanted to be here, you didn't know why you're here. We apparently didn't make that clear to you. I think that we close the hearing and we just
Recess the hearing.
November 5th
Well,
is our
we
next.
can recess it till that date in November 5th.
But do we wanna
Well, there's. has to be-
specify what has to be done before then?
we
No,
thought
it's
we
up to
did,
the ball is in their
So then
court.
I want-
I
Well,
mean,
what's the
and our
difference to
council,
closing it
correct.
then?
we-
I think we need to.
I
And
guess
our
we can-
council.
Yeah, we should consult.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that means that we don't have to go through
Okay,
notice.
gotcha.
If we recess the hearing to a date specific, it's there. We can either use it or not use it,
Sure.
depending upon what the bakery wants to do in terms of an application. And we can, in the meantime, talk to our council and find out.
yeah, I mean, we will talk to our attorney and you should probably talk to your attorney. And sorry, that sounds, like a bad movie, but I feel like we're here, but your attorney's saying there's nothing for us to do, so, we don't want you to go through a whole process I think we need to get on the same page.
I think it's a good plan to do the recess and then
And
if in
November
the interim,
5th, I believe, is
if in the interim anything changes, we can figure out from there.
November 5th.
November 5th.
November 5th is our next meeting.
And we will
Hearing.
only have that hearing if you guys want to be heard.
Yeah, we only
So,
have hearings when.
if you are
something's
happy
before
with
us.
whatever your council thinks is the best,
Yeah.
best way to handle this, we're fine with that.
Yep.
Any questions or comments from the public, other members of the public? Okay, so, any questions from anybody on Zoom? All right, I would entertain a motion to recess this hearing till,
November 5th.
November 5th. We don't need a site visit. We can start at 5 o'clock on November 5th. And we will only be holding the hearing if some sort of application or request comes from the bakery to be heard. Otherwise, you're on your own. Yes, Claudia.
When would that have to be received in order for you to have the hearing on the 5th?
Be warned.
Like at 12:30?
Well, okay, no, that's a
Because
a
that
very,
was
that's a very good question. Thank you very much. If you can let us know, let's see, the 5th, if you can let us know at least a week ahead of time, the 29th, of what it is you want to do. And, well, no, wait a minute. No, we don't have to send any more
Not just
notice
let
out.
us know, but like, get us the documents. I mean, we need to be able to review what's being asked or not asked.
Thank you. That's,
Well, in that regard, receiving this information today gave us no time to ask for expert consultation. And so if we get a week in advance, that's not gonna give us
All right.
time for that kind of consultation.
well, the 22nd is actually 1 to 3 weeks. Is that okay? You can figure it out in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Great. All right. We will, and actually, Mr. Tarrant, my frustration stems from the fact that I have been waiting for 3 years for my coffee and croissant.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. That's fair. Good coffee makes for good life.
All right, so I'm sorry,
Just
Natalie?
one more thing, in the meantime, like if anyone has like questions or anything, like I'm very local, like feel free, like, and you guys do, like I'm right next door to you guys, like feel free to come ask me, like we're not trying to cause a problem, we're trying to be open and appease everyone and bring this great thing to the community, so.
And I just want to piggyback off that if there are concerns, I would always recommend recommend you say them now if they haven't been addressed. Because if they weren't addressed in what you saw today, we're not gonna know that you want those addressed.
We don't know what we don't know.
We don't know what we don't know.
Well, I don't know if they had enough time to,
I haven't, we got this afternoon, so I know for New Thought Vermont, just speaking, we have 2 experts that would need to review anything. And they obviously haven't had time to deal with that.
well,
And so-
maybe the request then goes both ways. If you guys could can you let the bakery know within the next 2 weeks your concerns?
Also.
Or try to do that?
Experts for what, so we know what to provide you.
Well,
If it's a site plan amendment is very different than if you're going to get into questioning our wastewater and our stormwater. That has nothing to do with the site plan amendment. So if there's something separate that you'd like us to send to you that has nothing to do with DRB approval, that's good for us to know as well.
well, first of all, we need to have, I mean, whether we agree on this or not, doesn't matter, but we need to have the wastewater and the stormwater really looked at, because we had an impact from July of 2023. So when the wall was put up 3 weeks beforehand, so we really need to have that reviewed.
The permitted stormwater is not in place right now, though.
Yeah, so
And I
once the
think-
end, I don't think.
I'm just saying that that's the kind of thing that we need to look at. That's our primary concern is stormwater.
So can I just say that?
Let me finish, please. So the other kind of
I guess I
concerns
wouldn't
relate
tell you if I
to
wasn't.
the building and the impact on our building in a number of different ways. So we have a building consultant.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have a
yeah. So,
stormwater
why don't,
person.
I think that
Talk about
this is beyond, yeah. This,
Feel free to come next door anytime.
Okay.
yes, Jeff?
Just one thing I wanted to, as we close, just kind of for the record, it's my understanding the original application, looking at the minutes, was a site plan and conditional use application. And just going to 706 of the Weston zoning regulations, paragraph 3, approval of a conditional use shall be based on a site plan prepared in accordance with section 708 below. In failure of the development to conform to such plan shall constitute a violation of these regulations. So I think what we are simply trying to do is get you out of a violation, because you are in a violation because you did not follow the original site plan. Town wasn't even notified about the demo, from my understanding. So you're in violation, clearly stated in the regulations. And the attempt was to, with an amended site plan, is to get you out of it. And yet, and it was warned to be able to do that. So I'm bringing that up as a quote out of the regulations. It's not out of our heads. It's not something we're wishing for.
I'm a little concerned
He's
because
trying to help
the
you.
the ZA is
Yes.
tasked with enforcement in the first instance, and the DRB is supposed to be an adjudicative body. Listening to the evidence on that, I hear a prejudging of an NOV here, and it's concerning to me.
I'm
I've got a
just
problem.
quoting the regulations that said if a project is built that does not conform to the approved site plan, it's a violation.
Yeah, but you're saying there's an
I'm not
NOV,
judging
that's
whether
the
it's a
ZA's
violation or
job.
not.
This is problematic for me here, to hear the DRB suggesting outside of this, where the ZA by statute's tasked with it. I don't know.
I'm simply reading what the regulations state that we follow as a board.
Okay, but it's just not your purview to make NOV decisions.
We can let the 2 attorneys battle that out.
Okay,
Okay, I was putting a motion on the table,
Yeah, I'm seconding it.
okay.
I make a motion to recess this hearing
To
to November
seconding
5th.
And that the hotel partners Western Hotel Partners will let us know with applications or whatever they want by the 22nd
And
of
it can be-
October.
Whatever you wanna do.
It can be these plans and
this whole packet, I don't think it's.
Whatever.
But it needs to say,
Right,
we are applying for an amended site plan.
right.
So-
If
Or
that's
we
what
need to
you-
make it clear.
A separate form or anything that we need to have with it, like what all do you need?
No, I mean, we thought that,
That's what this.
we
was.
thought that you were applying for amended site plan, but apparently you weren't. So let's,
We have to get advice of council before we can answer that
Yeah.
question.
yes, okay. All right. So we have a motion on the table and a second. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so this hearing is recessed at whatever time it is.
6:37.
6:37. And thank you very much. We are going to continue to meet for a few minutes because we have some process stuff to do on zoning regulations, and you're welcome to stay. You're also welcome to leave whenever you wish. Thank you very much on Zoom. Same thing. You are welcome to stay. You are welcome to leave. So anyway, so the other business I wanted to talk about. Buddy, did you get a whole application thing? Okay. You want a hard copy? There's a lot under here.
It's disingenuous for them to say.
The shorts.
The new
Or
ones
steak.
are around. It's disingenuous.
I sold them.
Are we still recording, Jen?
Yeah, it says, no,
No, I mean, do you want me to?
no, I thought we stopped.
Yeah.
Right, right, yeah, yeah.
Gotta use the right mouse.
Okay. Well, I told my husband that I would probably be home by 7, but that we would have had